Today we're going to talk about how to determine how many solutions an equation has. So this first case that we're going to talk about is when there's only one solution. So this is our equation. We're going to go ahead and solve this. So our first step is to be combined like terms. 5p plus 3p is 8p. So then we're going to subtract 8p from both sides. This gives me negative 7p. 8p and the negative 8p cancel. Then I'm going to add 1 to both sides. The 1's cancel. Negative 8 plus 1 is negative 7. My last step is to divide by negative 7 on both sides. And so p equals positive 1. Again, they want us to look at set builder notation. So we're going to write it like this. Now we're going to move on to when there is no solution. So we're going to have to distribute this negative 4. So that gives me negative 4 plus 24a. I'm going to subtract 24a from both sides. 24a minus 24a gives me 0, so I don't need to write that. That just goes away. And then my 24 minus 24 again cancels. So I'm left with negative 22 equals negative 4. This is not a true statement because these are not the same number, which means there is no solution to this equation. That means that no matter what number you substitute for a, this side is never going to equal this side. So then in set builder notation, it could look like this. Or you may see this. So now let's move on to when there's infinitely many solutions, or all the solutions. So again, I'm going to have to distribute this negative 2. And then I'm going to go ahead and combine the negative 4x and the positive 2x. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. I'm left with negative 4 over here and negative 4 over here because both of these canceled out. These are the same number, which means there are infinitely many solutions. That means whatever number you plug in for x, this side is always going to equal this side no matter what. So then your solution in set builder notation is going to look like this. That means all real numbers or infinitely many solutions. So then let's look at this challenge question that you may see on the SOL. It says determine which equations have no real solutions, which we know means there's two different numbers on each side. So let's go ahead and solve this first equation. So we are going to distribute this negative 2, and that's going to give us positive 12x, plus 6 equals negative 6. Then we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. We get positive 12x equals negative 12. Divide by 12 on both sides. X equals 1. So we'll go back to our chart. We got a letter equals a number. That means it's one solution, so it's not my answer choice. So then here, I'm going to combine some like terms. I have negative 4x and positive 2x, which makes negative 2x. I have 7 minus 5, which is 2. I have negative 5x and positive 3x, which makes negative 2x. And I have 12 minus 7, which is 5. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. Negative 2x plus 2x also cancels. So now I just have 2 equals 5. That is not a true statement. So let's see. True. There's my not true. And that means no solution. They are asking which equations have no real solutions. This S means there might be more than one answer, but I just definitely found one of them. So now let's look at C. So I'm going to distribute this -3 and the 2 and the -3. So this is going to be a little bit more work than the other two. -3 times 2x gives me -6x. -3 times -5 gives me +15 plus x equals 2 times 4x gives me 8x. 2 times 6 gives me 12. -3 times 3x is -9x. -3 times 2 is -6. And then we have that -4x. Now we have to combine some like terms. So we have -6x and +x. That gives me -5x. And then +15. Then we have 8x minus 9x, which is -1x, minus 4x, which is -5x. And then we have 12 minus 6, which is 6. So I'm going to add 5x to both sides. Here it cancels, here it cancels, so I have 15 equals 6. We know that those are not the same number, which again is no solution. So this is going to be one of our answer choices. So now let's move on to D. I need to distribute this -2. So -2 times -6x is going to give me +12x. -2 times -3 is a +6. I'm going to subtract 12x from both sides. So now I have 6 equals -6 because both of these canceled. This is not a true statement. Even though it's the same number, this one's negative, this one's positive. So again, that means no solution. So we ended up having 3 answers to this question.